Okay, next I'm going to put the rear exhaust manifold on. This one has a sort of different gasket because it has the spot for the EGR. So it's going to be kind of hard to see, but that's what I'm going to be doing. Okay, so I didn't show it, but I had to wrestle the exhaust manifold to get back there. It's attached now. I really had to wrestle it. You know, I figured that's not worth showing. I eventually got it in. A good technique is to move this from side to side, this pipe right here, and it'll help get some room in. Now I threaded all the exhaust manifold bolts in by hand, so now I'm just going to tighten each one. Now we have the bolts for the flange that hooks onto the exhaust. I had to remove the O2 sensor so I can get it back behind there easier. So let's put that back in. Put some anti-seize on the threads. Next we're putting the power steering pump on. Always start all bolts by hand. Next we have this bracket piece that has the tensioner on it, and just going to put it on the engine and make sure that this part goes into the little port on the engine, which is right here, and this will go into either the intake or the supercharger later, I can't remember. Oh, let's replace this O-ring first. Okay, replace this O-ring and this one. Okay, put the bolts in. There's also a bolt back here. Okay, one thing I forgot was this bracket back here. It attaches to the studs in the exhaust manifold. You might be saying, why aren't you putting the rocker arms and valve cover on right here? And that's because I need to get new rocker arm bolts because they are also stretch bolts. Next we have these heater hoses up here. So if you look, the hoses that attach onto where the firewall goes to, one of them is bigger than the other. So you can only put these ones on one way. Big one goes down here. Small one goes up here. So the short one goes here, the longer one goes here. You need to get the nut for this up here. Well, let's put these clamps back. Okay, now we have this bracket that holds the EGR valve on, and it attaches to that rear exhaust manifold. Goes on like this, and then the bolt actually comes in from the back. Okay, now we're ready to put the other head on. So I'm going to spray off the bolt holes, the same deal. I'm going to sort of go through a fast motion of me tightening the head bolts because you saw in the previous video and it's exactly the same. So I'm just going to do that now. Again, the arrow faces towards the front of the engine. Again, find the dowel pins and it'll go right on. The long bolts go in the back. Shorter bolts go in the front.